When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Some of you love sleep more than you love success. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you've got to be willing to give up sleep. You got to be willing to work off for 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours. If you really want to be successful, some days you're going to have to stay up 3 days in a row. Because if you go to sleep, you might miss the opportunity to be successful. That's how bad you got to want it.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's hot. That's what's up. Ooh, go ahead and break your neck. It is definitely hot. Y'all, the last video on our new series of the real life of a wholesale investor, we were on a high. We were on a big ass high too.
I mean, big high.
And I almost was like, forget it. I don't even want to record anymore. Like, this is it. So it's been a week since our training, and a lot of things have changed. So we're going to start with day one. Day one was still pretty good. We were still very high. We was researching, and we were working on our action plan, which is what our mentor, Kelly, told us to do, right? So we were working on it. Day two, so we had to like pay off some debts in order to get this loan. Y'all, I picked the worst time to record.
You can just sit right here and do it, baby. Let's run down so we can get some air in here.
Ooh.
That's hot.
But we had to pay off some debts on Monday. That's what I did on Monday. I focused and I paid off some debt so that we can get approved for this loan. And on Tuesday, once they got the confirmations and everything was good to go, they called Aisha. It was on Tuesday, right, baby?
Yes.
Baby, you're not even in the video. Screw it, y'all. They called baby and they said something about like a fraud alert. They said they needed her to take the fraud alert off her credit report, and it rubbed me the wrong way. And once they told her that she needed to take the fraud alert off her credit report, Aisha was like, why do I have to take the fraud alert off? Like, why didn't they explain that to me? A little bit more details. And I'm like, well, shit, like, obviously because it's fraud. Well, if it's fraud or they're doing something they're not supposed to do, they're not going to tell us, like, hey, this is fraud. Anyway, it just didn't make me feel right. So I started researching and I started looking up, what did I start doing?
You was looking at, you was
What
going to
did it
go
call?
look at the
Reviews. I started looking at reviews on the company, and I was trying to stay away from the reviews because I know, like, I didn't want us to mess with our emotions and how we was feeling, because obviously their feelings, whatever. I started up looking up the negative comments, and a lot of people were saying stuff like, it really didn't make sense, to be completely honest. And I was kind of like, well, I don't know how hard they work, but people were saying, oh, I will call these people and nobody was wanting to sell. I called over 200 people and I got all no's. It was a lot of comments like that, and it was like, well, maybe they didn't work hard enough. You don't know what somebody's work ethic is. And all I can say was, I knew we were gonna work hard, so we were gonna make sales. I wasn't worried about that. And then I looked up the company, which was doing the credit stuff, and one lady told me, yeah, she personally talked to me, honey, but she said that she had got approved for $100,000, but her payment was $2,000. And then that started making me feel uneasy even more, because I'm like, dang, you know, even though our worth ethic could be freaking on point, what if we don't make a sale within our first 6 months? We have to pay this payment, and we're getting a loan for $35,000 to $40,000. That's almost a car payment. That's gonna put us in a tight spot. Like, is it gonna be the best for us to just go take out a loan for something that they don't guarantee you to make funds? They're not guaranteeing a lot of stuff. So it's like we could potentially be stuck with this payment for 6 months. And our mentor Kelly told us that she wanted us to be safe. Like whatever we do, she was gonna make sure we're safe. And to me, having to pay 6 months money, like paying a payment for 6 months, that didn't seem safe.
Especially when you already told her where we were at. That makes no sense. But
so we were thinking about it, and we were still like uneasy, but it was like maybe like we just gonna have to work so hard. We was trying to still be positive, because we was like, you know, maybe we just gonna have to work hard. But then I kept looking at more comments that people was talking about the training, and that how like you're supposed to have somebody guide you and help you through certain stuff, and they didn't have that guidance. And I'm like, okay, that's not making me feel good, because whatever. So I'm like, whatever. We still was feeling uneasy. This was all on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I told Aisha, I was like, you know what, we're gonna look at like we made a thing to look up like our cash buyers, because that was, you know, that's our bread and butter, right? So we were gonna look for our cash buyers and start researching our cash buyers. And when we started doing that, we noticed they didn't have fucking phone numbers. Like nobody had phone numbers in the system. And I'm like, wait, how are we supposed to contact these people if they don't even have phone numbers? Like, if this is the majority of our business of calling people, how do we not call them? Go ahead, baby. Technically what?
Well, if they at least, because I see, baby said she saw the names. I didn't get the names to come up, and that's probably because I went in one of the other tabs that's one of the other tabs that was on the little search tool that we use. And if we have at least a name, we have to do more research, but we can put the name into the county, and it brings up their contact information. But that's extra work when we paid for this tool to give us all of that. So it still makes no sense. So that tool is bullshit. Software is bullshit.
Well, so I tell Aisha, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ask our mentor, like, where's the phone numbers? Like, how do we access the phone numbers? Y'all know this lady had the nerve to tell me, like, wait, she said, wait a minute. I wish I still had the text message.
She said, don't you think you jumping ahead of yourself?
Baby, you don't even know the full text. She had the nerve to tell me, said, wait a minute. First, don't you think are you getting ahead of yourself? And then she said, have you even done the tutorials, the software videos? And I'm like, we did that on day one. Like we way ahead of that. Like, and no, I'm not getting ahead of myself. What did I gotta do? Hold on, y'all, my arms are getting so tired. I'm thinking, what does that have to do with the fucking phone numbers? And she said, you're gonna have to call customer support. And that just told me right there, like, okay, this is bullshit. Like, this is legit bullshit. How do I have to call somebody else for fucking phone numbers? So then I started thinking, this is just a database filled with everybody who's ever bought a house, anybody that's ever been in foreclosure, their name is just on this database. Like, that's why it looks so grand, so great, because anybody who's ever had a house in the world, they're on this database. Another thing that was a red flag for us was Aisha was looking at the comps. If you don't know what the comps is, it is the value of the properties that's around the house that you're buying, and then it should give you the numbers on your property, right, baby? Is that your understanding of what comps are?
Yes.
So Aisha was looking up the comps, and it said, what, baby? What was the message that came up?
It says that it says something to the effect of that the data that you're looking at may not be accurate.
I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean it may not be accurate? They told us that this was accurate information. He did like this whole thing on like one house, and he was like, how are you going to get accurate information? Are you going to go through your real estate agent? Are you going to get it from Google? Are you going to look? And he was like, your real estate agent might not even give you the right stuff. But it says go to the MLS, which only a real estate agent has access to. So I'm like, we don't even have the right information for the value of the home. Like,
that box was big to be day.
A joke.
That box wasn't on
his. I didn't see
it because
he probably had it like, so don't ask me don't tell me this no more or something. Did it give us that option?
I didn't see that.
Y'all,
I didn't see that. No, he got the right shit, and
nobody in the system has the right software because it's made up. They just made up this fucking shit to make it look legit so that you could pay $30,000 to $40,000 pretty much for this software, because that's what really sold us. You guys remember in our video we said we were so hyped about the fucking software because this was the bread and butter to help us do our job, which we found out that we still would have to do the research to do our job. So that was just too many red flags, and I was like, nope. So we freaking tried. I can't say we tried. We canceled the contract that we had with the funding department. They took it off. They was like, we still, like, lucky for us, like, we wasn't so deep in the process to where they already started doing the funding and stuff. So we were able to just cancel the contract, and we told our mentor that we didn't want to do it anymore. So we, from here on out,
have the basics,
are doing this on our own. We're gonna figure this shit out. I've been watching tons and tons and tons of videos on YouTube,
and that's what they said not for us not to do, but
and we're just gonna see how this works, guys. We are taking you along on this journey. I'm sure it's gonna be lots of highs, it's gonna be lots of lows, it's gonna be lots of frustration, but we are willing to do it because after this training we are so eager to succeed, because I know it's possible. I have no doubt in my mind that, you know, what we're gonna do, people are successful at it. I just don't believe that Response was the best company to go through. So that is where we are. We wanted to update you guys, but if you are thinking about going through freaking Response, don't do it. Don't freaking do it, because you are gonna set yourself up for
a lot of frustration and empty pockets.
You're setting yourself up for empty pockets. But I want to say, like,
the education is good.
Like if your expectations was as high as ours, just lower them. If you're gonna do it, just don't have no expectations. Know that you're gonna spend $30,000 to $40,000 with Response, but you're still gonna have to do a lot of the shit by yourself. So you spend all this money to get all the training, all the tools from this company, and they're only gonna help you with probably 10% of it, and then the 90% you're still gonna have to figure out how to do yourself. So why did you spend all of this money to get the knowledge from a company if you still have to figure it out by yourself? So yeah, that is where we are at. We are going to be figuring this shit out by ourselves. Well, through the help of Max, and there's some other real estate investors that I watch, but that is what we're going to do, guys. So I just wanted to let you guys in on a little update, and we will see you guys on our next video, which will be probably us trying to find like our cash buyers, or like talking to random people. So those should be very interesting videos. But until then, we'll see you guys on our next video. Toodles!